tutorial on the prescription and certificate of medical necessity for the pelvic floor electrical stimulation system known as Intone. So in front of me I have the fillable PDF file that our group has most likely sent to you. It's currently full page, and I wanted to give you a couple of the quick shortcuts. So now I'm on a Mac, but so for me it's the command key, but for PCs it will be the control key most likely, and I can change my view here. That's command 1 or control 1. This is this is command 2 or control 1. You can see I can zoom in on the file, and if I want to see the whole file I can do command or control 0. So a couple of quick viewpoints there. Now, you'll note here that there's two fax numbers. You can complete the script, print it out on your printer, fax it in. There's also a backup line here, which will be an analog line. Call us or email us for that number. These are both secure digital lines. You'll note our main office number here, any services and support, and you can also note that this is a clickable link, as are some of the other fields here. So you can electronically submit this file as well. This is also not to be redundant, but it is HIPAA secure through our system. So the important thing is whether or not your email system is secure. Don't send the script electronically if you are using a third-party email such as Google or Yahoo. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit Command or Control 2 to zoom in on the page, and I can click this button here up in the top right corner. It says highlight the existing fields, and so you can really see that there's quite a bit of functionality to the file. Moving through, it's fairly self-explanatory. We, of course, do need the date of birth. Setup date, if you know it, is helpful. Insurance information is all fairly straightforward. Now, you'll note that if I click the mouse in the first name field, I can use my tab key to move through, and all I'm doing right now is clicking tab. Now, let's say my primary diagnosis is going to be urge incontinence for this patient. All I need to do is hit the space bar, and I can move on from there. Maybe I have a secondary incontinence, secondary diagnosis code here of 728.85. All I'm doing, again, is hitting the space bar. So I don't even need to use my mouse here. Now, note that on this patient, let's say that the default pre-checked is 90 days, but let's say we want this patient to be 180 days. I'm going to use the Shift-Tab key there, and I'll deselect the 90. I'll note that my box is now on 180. I hit the spacebar key, and you can see how I've just selected 180 days. So I'm able to accomplish a lot, move my work through very, very quickly. You'll note that all I was doing there was hitting tab to move through those fields for pelvic nerves are intact, patient is cognitively intact. Now, these are qualification criteria that are true for most major carriers, if not all. So if a patient doesn't meet these criteria, give us a call and let's make sure that it's the right fit. Patient prognosis, this is somewhat subjective. The preset is good. Patient failed 4 week of PME, pelvic muscle exercise training, is required for state and federal dollar plans. A lot of commercial payers are also requesting the same, but it's not a universal. Treatment goals is mostly for the federal plans. If the patient is a Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, etc., or a commercial payer that is covered under the same sort of coding, a start date and an end date in a treatment cycle here is required. That's a 4-week failed conservative therapy. So we do need that on file. In some cases, it's very helpful if you would send the medical notes as well. We'll let you know. There's the CMN block, so note that this is a combined prescription. I'm going to hit Command 0 here to zoom out so you can see the whole page again. This is a completed prescription and certificate of medical necessity, which is this block right here. And then finally, we'll note that if I keep hitting tab, you see how I was on start date, end date. Now I'm on provider facility name, and all I need to do is hit tab a couple more times here, and you note that I can tab through and provide my facility information. You'll see that it go to the signature field, the last after date. Now this is a digital signature field. If you are using digital signatures, you can use this here to digitally sign, or you can create a digital signature. A very, very nice thing today, and that is a legally binding signature that is qualifiable for medical services. If you don't have a digital signature, you would complete the file, print out the form, stamp it, sign it, etc., and either then scan it, fax it, email it, etc., however you'd like to get it to us. You can fill this section out if you have 3 or 4 providers that are going to be focused on urinary incontinence work. Fill this out, save it as a template. And I'll encourage you to do the same thing again here. If your facility has basic stable information, consider filling in your information as, Women's Health Associates, etc. Put in your basic information and then save that file as your new script template. And you'll just resave it under different name. Now, couple of things here. This is an instructional video. This is obviously the link to how you got to this video, but you'll note that that video will launch in a separate window if you're looking at the PDF file. It'll launch in the same window if you're filling the PDF out on Chrome or Firefox or Explorer. So make note of that. There's no way for us to open a separate window in those programs, so make sure you save your work first. The clear button will reset the form to its default state. You see these are all the defaults that we have. Print will print it to your default printer. It may take just a minute to load there, and there's my default printer. Obviously, what I complete will print. And then submit asks me to select an email application here, either a desktop email or an internet email service, and I can then remit this form electronically. I would again encourage you to make sure that your email system is secure, but it is configured so that you can electronically submit. Now let's say that I've completed this form with Jane Smith's information. I would then simply save this form as by going up to the File menu and doing a Save As PDF or Save As here, and I can call that whatever I'd like, and I can then attach that file to my EMR or print it out for my records. So hopefully this will help you in your workflow, and call us at the number on the screen if you have any questions, and all the best. We look forward to working with you and your patients.